How y'all doing? All right. Who out there loves rock and roll? All right. Now how about typography? Wow. Okay, I'm surprised. It's usually not that good a response. Well, it turns out letters are kind of a big deal. Words as well. It's what we use to communicate all this information around us. I'm not an expert on typography. I'm going to share a little bit about my passion tonight. This all started for me back in 2007. I watched a little film called Helvetica by Gary Hustwit. It's a fabulous documentary. It really changed the way that I perceived the world around me and the way that I looked at information and words and what was being communicated to me. Now, many of you know Helvetica, the typeface, already. It's like 99% of what we have in the world for signage. And I started wondering, well, what is this other 1% of fonts? I'm kind of curious about that. So I started to look at what was around me in my own environment. And I started to look at my vinyl record collection. And, I was like, well, wow, I'm like, taking this journey, looking into the history of some of these fonts and where they came from, who invented them. And I found out that a lot of these were very rich. And so I started this project called Rock That Font, where basically I decided that, hey, mate, there might be a few other people that are interested in this. And so the goal is to build a database of album covers and the fonts and typefaces used on them, and basically just geek out about music and fonts. And so we created a website along with a couple other contributors. Les Jacobs is a buddy of mine, a DJ in Brooklyn, and another friend, Eric Hurtgen, who actually designed the Rock That Font logo and typeface. He actually does packaging for bands, so he knows a little bit about this. And so tonight I thought I would share a couple of hidden histories behind some of the typefaces that you see on a few of my favorite records, at least. And the first one that I'm going to start off with is a record by a band called My Bloody Valentine. This record, Loveless, was 1991, a pivotal record. You ask anybody, I mean, it is a paradigm-shifting moment for rock and roll. Well, as it turns out, the typeface used on this particular record is called Cabo Bold. The version used on this record was by Victor Caruso in 1975, but it comes from a variation by Rudolf Koch in 1927. And Rudolf Koch is a German nationalist. The Germans always make great stuff, as we've seen on TV. But basically, he did this cable. It's from the German cable to celebrate the first transatlantic telephone cable. So again, this amazing paradigm shift in technology and communication, I think, being reflected in this record that very much did the same for rock and roll. The next record that I'm going to talk about is This Mortal Coil, Blood. This is actually Eva Watts Russell of 4AD. Basically, his supergroup. You've got Kim Deal from the Pixies. This particular cover was designed by Vaughn Oliver, who did everything that 4AD ever did. And he went with Bauer Badani Black Italic, which is a typeface that's very interesting. Heinrich Joss did it in 1926, but it's based on the work of Giambattista Bodoni. It's hundreds and hundreds of years old, back to Italy. An amazing history there. But what's really interesting is in the digital age, this font does not survive well. A lot of the hairline detail that basically appear as serifs doesn't really show up because of the way computers mathematically scale fonts. Again, This Mortal Coil is music, atmospheric, out there, experimental, and I think that the typeface is perfect for that. So again, a lot of these things, when typography is working, we don't even notice. We don't, because we feel it. It's in our gut. And when it doesn't work, we do notice. One of the records that I think is surprising to me is the Black Keys, their new record, Brothers, which I think is very simple. It's actually the brother of one of the guys in the band did the album cover design. But this particular font is something that you have seen everywhere before. And it's something that has a large history. It was done back in 1921. Typographers hated it at the time, but the public loved it. And it sounds very similar. It's a similar history as Comic Sans, which you knew I was going to say that at some point in this presentation, right? But yes, Cooper Black by Oz Cooper in 1921. Again, perfectly appropriate for this, slightly distressed on the cover. Again, kind of connecting to this raw, youthful blues rock vibe, but in a really unique way. And so I love this quote, and I wanted to share and kind of close with this. If you love ideas, if you love meaning, and you like thinking about how we convey this to each other, think about the clothes that words wear. Beatrice Ward is a great communicator on typography, wrote a book on Garamond. And so I certainly hope that after this little rant that you do not look at your MP3 collection in the same way. Think about the visual components that go with the music that we experience every day, and see words in a new light. So thank you.